Thanks, Devin. And fishing season is nearly upon us, and before you hit the lakes and rivers, it is important to gear up properly.
Yes, and to help us make sure we're doing it right, we have Kurt from Kurt's Island Sports Shop in Minocqua lending us a helping hand today. So thank you so much for coming in.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So Devin was mentioning we got a lot of changing water levels, and people are probably looking, as the ice melts, to get out there on the lakes. And to do that, the fishing season is going to be open. What do people need to remember when they're heading out for fishing season, not ice fishing season?
Yeah, well, hopefully we don't have ice fishing for the opener. We've had that in the past.
Oh,
wow.
But big thing is that the #1 targeted species when the fishing season opens is walleyes.
Okay.
And on a late ice out like this, we could be seeing fishermen fishing during the walleye spawn. And that'll bring the fish up real shallow. They'll be sort of aggressive because they're actively spawning, but even though the water's cold, walleyes will spawn when it's about 38 degrees, just as the ice is just breaking off the lakes. So most of the fishing will be shallow for this coming opener, and you don't have to fish fast. They just have to work the right spots, which is always the key.
Yeah, find your lucky spot, but then also keep it a secret because it's your lucky spot.
That's right.
Is there a good time of day that people should go out, or does it not really matter?
Typically, low light periods, early mornings, evenings, or overcast days are best.
Okay. So if we have some of this weather that we got right now, it's kind of overcast, rainy, next weekend for the 2 weekends, it's May 6th?
May 6th, yeah. May
6th is the opener for walleye, and that'd be a good kind of weather conditions to get out there.
Right, yeah, that's what we like. Those beautiful high skies with no sun, or no clouds cover, we call those Chamber of Commerce days. It's beautiful, everybody likes it, but us fishermen don't particularly care for it. We'd rather see a little bit of wind, some cloud cover, low light levels, it's good.
That's good to know. So you brought some bait with us, and I'm imagining that different fish prefer different baits. So walk us through what you would use for what fish.
I mostly brought what we would probably use for opening weekend for walleye fishing. And I discussed the fact that we usually, and I didn't bring any, I'm sorry to say, I didn't bring any live bait for you today. Hard to get right now.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Well,
you know.
We're going to make it
Save it for the fishermen. I'll do the favor.
We'll make it up to you. So a lot of us use live bait with jigs. And I do want to mention that there's been a real push lately to start looking at non-lead tackle to protect the wildlife. And so some companies have come out with some lures and jigs that are not made without lead, which is very important for helping protect our eagles and our loons. We even have split shot now that's not lead versus the lead shot. If you go to a store and you're looking for these kind of things, do understand you'll probably pay a little more. It's usually a supply demand. The supply is not up there yet. As more and more people get into purchasing this stuff and manufacturing picks up on that end, then you'll probably start seeing those costs come down and start matching what we're used to seeing for the lead. But those alternatives are out there, and a good way to,
to make sure it lasts for future generations. Gotcha.
So jigs with weed guards, jigs with, in this case, has a little silvery kind of what they call a Google eye, bucktail jigs, and even marabou jigs. What's been popular in the last 5-6 years has been jigs with a plastic we call swim baits.
Yeah.
It's very simple. You cast out and you just reel in, and the tail does all the work for you. And then this time of year, stick baits, which don't have a lot of crazy action, which is fine. When the water's cool, you don't have to go very fast or you don't have to make a lot of motion to attract the fish. And then some different various tails and stuff to put on. Spinning rods and spinning reels, I brought a couple rods here, are best for casting these lighter baits. Now, typically what'll happen, most people go out and fish for walleyes early in the morning, but in the middle of the day, and they want to fish for something else. Crappies are really a good fish to fish for this time of year when the ice first goes out. So people use smaller jigs with little minnows and smaller versions of this.
All right, so you can switch out your baits, switch out what you're trying to cast for throughout the day, just kind of depending on, what's best for that time.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of neat.
Interesting, yeah. And if people wanted to learn more about this or contact you or come check out what you have, where are you located and what's the best way for people to reach
just
out?
North of downtown Minocqua on Highway 51 on the east side of the highway, crossing the lake. We got the pond behind us. We have a website, and also you can just reach us at 715-356-4797 or email us. We get a lot of questions at kurtzislandsports@gmail, and we're also on Facebook.
Well, fantastic. People know how to reach out for all of their, licensing, their bait needs, their gear needs, and, probably getting excited as the weather hopefully gets better.
Yes, if Devin will get rid of the ice. The other project we have going on, if I can mention, is that we were going to have we have a walleye wagon. Our club does. We're going to hatch our own walleyes.
Oh, that's good.
We did it last year. We're just waiting for the ice to leave so we can get set up and help restock the lake.
Well, we'll have our fingers crossed for the ice just to move on.
Yes.
Okay. We're done with it.
All right.
Exciting.
All right. Thanks for coming in.
Probably next time I see you, there will probably be leeches.
Yeah, there will be.
There will be. Well, thank you so much. And coming up, we have What's Trending, including